And our first story is on politics. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party is insisting that there's no voter suppression in the ongoing registration exercise. Addressing a news conference in Accra, the chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, says the data available from the Electoral Commission does not support claims of the opposition NDC on the matter. He is therefore inviting Ghanaians to avoid mistaking what he calls genuine intentions to properly police registration centers as an attempt to disenfranchise bona fide Ghanaians.
Do not be misled by John Mahama's hate for vote campaign. John Mahama has resorted to this old bogus propaganda trick used by empty and desperate tyrants of decades gone by, because he has no policy response to Akufo-Addo's social interventions and economic policies. Ladies and gentlemen, Akufo-Addo has been instrumental in maintaining peace and tranquility throughout the country, including in Dagbon, since he came into office. He will be, and I insist with sincerity, be the last to want to disturb the peace in this country. We must completely and totally reject Mahama's hate for vote campaign and look at the real facts. Ladies and gentlemen, is it true that votarians are really being disenfranchised? I wish I could not be asking this question, but since he started it and is going around with it, let's now go to the facts. The facts say no. They are not. At the end of phase 5 of the registration exercise, after 30 days, 816 and 69 people have registered in the Volta region alone as against the 2019 regional votes register.
Mr. Freddie Blay says the NDC has run so far out of options, and the reason it has had to resort to arguments of ethnic disenfranchisement to save its face. He accuses the leader of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, and the whole party of employing inferior communist tactics to undermine the Electoral Commission's voter registration exercise.
Our brothers and sisters of the NDC are desperately trying to undermine the simple, civil, and peaceful exercise of voter registration into one of ethnocentrism through outright fabrications, needless exaggerations, and old-fashioned fear-mongering propaganda tactics, and if I will say, with your permission, inferior communist tactics. It has not been very smooth, I must say. The Electoral Commission, EC, the arbiter with sole authority to determine elections, has had to prove its mettle over and over again these past few months.
Meanwhile, the opposition NDC also presented what it describes as hardcore evidence of alleged acts of intimidation and brutalities meted out to its supporters in the ongoing registration exercise within its strongholds. Now, some of the videos presented by the NDC captured some military and other security personnel from the Ghana Immigration Service, for example, allegedly harassing drivers in Keta constituency, while some of the military men were also seen at some registration centers questioning some prospective voters. Now, the party also accused the Akufo-Addo-led government of encouraging voter suppression through ethnocentrism. The National Communications Officer of the NDC, Samit Jemfi, insists President Akufo-Addo and his government are making frantic efforts to disenfranchise non-Akans who are deemed to be supporters of the NDC.
President Akufo-Addo, who is a sponsor, promoter, and ultimate beneficiary of the ongoing electoral-driven ethnocentrism and tribal bigotry, has failed to take any action to nip these disturbing acts in the bud. We in the NDC are not surprised by the posturing of President Akufo-Addo towards this rather worrying trend, because this has always been his plan. This is why he has chosen to see nor hear no evil about any infamy or injustice to the Ghanaian people once it advances his electoral fortunes. The media space is awash with incontrovertible evidence and pictorial evidence on these happenings. Yet, as usual, President Akufo-Addo has chosen the path of deception and dishonesty to throw dust into the eyes of unsuspecting members of the public, to conceal the evil tribalistic voter suppression agenda he is supervising. We have also taken note of a labored effort by the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitio, to attempt to justify some of the ethnocentric events we have witnessed in the ongoing registration exercise. The Defense Minister's ludicrous attempts to explain away the sheer use of brute force and physical assault by certain elements in the once revered Ghana Armed Forces to prevent some legitimate Ghanaians from taking part in the ongoing registration process only goes to reinforce President Akufo-Addo's attitude of see no evil, hear no evil, once it advances your electoral fortunes.